All right, so tonight the Warriors edged past the Utah Jazz by a final score of 94-92. Second game in a row where the Warriors, had a game that really went down to the final seconds. Of course, the Rockets game ended in a buzzer beater by Curry. But yeah, it was definitely a very tough game for the Warriors because, it was back and forth at a certain point. And the Jazz are obviously a good team. So to win, when we're of course shorthanded and Curry wasn't really on his best game, that's a good game for us. But I'm still not happy about the fourth quarter in this game. The Warriors only scored 11 points in the fourth quarter. I think that's probably the lowest they've scored in a quarter all year. But luckily they still held on, and they had some clutch shooting from Wiggins, of course, and they got a nice win. And, Curry tonight, I love the guy, of course, but I hate to say it. He went 5 for 20, and he was 1 of 13 from three-point range. I don't know what's going on with Curry. Last couple weeks, he hasn't really been on his typical game like we've seen him at the beginning of this year and whatnot. But as long as we're winning, it's a team sport, of course. That's all right. The Warriors, despite the poor performance from Curry in this one overall, they still had 6 players in double figures. Kevon Looney had 10 points. He also had a very clutch and one at the end of the game where, the Warriors needed those points. Steph Curry, of course, had 13 points. Wiggins had 14. Jordan Poole was the leading scorer for the Dubs with 20 points. He was definitely the X factor, and he also had was in the starting lineup as Klay Thompson. He did not play tonight as well. 13 for Otto Porter and 12 for Damian Lee. Damian Lee came off the bench, and he was hitting some really good shots, 3-pointers, and some good, just overall shot selection as well. For the Jazz, their leading scorer was Bojan Bogdanovic. He had 21 points. Joe Ingles had 10 points, 12 for Gobert. That was pretty much it. They did not have Donovan Mitchell, of course, and they're still a good team. I mean, they're 30-17. We're 34-13, so we're like 4 games ahead of them. But for now, the Warriors still sit at second in the Western Division, and, they still need to just keep winning. The Suns are, the hottest team, I think, in the NBA. They're on a 6-game win streak, so we definitely need to, play our best and just keep winning. But I think, these past 2 games have showed. I think they've definitely humbled the Warriors a little bit. I mean, you're only winning by a couple points, and at the beginning of this year, the Warriors were winning games by 20-plus points every game, blowing out teams that, were considered good. And now it's like we're losing to some bad teams, and I think we've been humbled. But we have won, 3 of our last 4, so I'm happy with that. We've also won 4 of our last 6, and so that's definitely a lot better than, what it was in the week, prior to that. Our next game, though, is going to be a little bit of a challenge. Next game, we have the Mavericks at home, and of course, we lost to them last time we played them. I think we can beat them, but I think it's definitely going to be a challenge, and I think if we are going to beat them, we definitely need Curry to play better because, 5 of 20 is kind of inexcusable for a guy who has just been really good overall in this season. But recently, like I said, the Warriors are just not, they're not really playing like they were. But I hopefully they can, recollect and just keep winning. I mean, I think they're doing pretty good right now. Beating the Jazz feels pretty good. They're definitely a team to beat in the West. So yeah, definitely good. Win tonight for the Warriors, 94-92, like I said. Definitely a close one. A lot of good defense as well from the Warriors. That was something that was huge, holding the Jazz to 24-second violations on multiple occasions. And the issue was, though, the Warriors could not make shots in the fourth quarter that much. Like I said, only 11 points. But the Warriors had a pretty good first quarter and pretty good third quarter. So that's pretty good. But overall, their defense is good. I think their offense needs to improve significantly if they're going to make a push, in the next couple of weeks as the season, approaches. We're, of course, over the halfway point now. But if we're going to make a actual push to be the number 1 seed or, top 3 seed, we got to keep just winning. So yeah, anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts. Warriors moved to 34-13. Jazz moved to 30-17, 94-92 victory. And so next game will be against the Mavericks. Let me know your guys' thoughts. I'll see you guys later. And go Warriors.